Kern County's coroner's office is accused of releasing this woman's body to someone she wasn't related to and never notifying her actual parents. Today we talked to civil attorney who says there are policies in place that should have prevented something like this from happening. Tonight, shocking new details in a murder that caught the attention of Kern County. Back on March 19th, 61-year-old Victoria Ann Hampton was shot and killed in southwest Bakersfield after tracking down her stolen vehicle. Police say she was able to find it with an Apple AirTag. But instead of calling police, she reportedly decided to take matters into her own hands. According to the Bakersfield Police Department, she confronted the people accused of stealing her vehicle in a neighborhood on Ginger Drive near White Lane and Stein Road, but was shot in the head. She died days later in a hospital on April 1st. Back in June, Bakersfield Police spokesperson Sergeant Robert Pear said the department didn't fault Hampton for the action she took.
I'd like to make it clear that in no way did this woman do anything wrong, especially did not do anything wrong to the point where she deserved to be hurt or, in this incident, killed. So I'm not blaming her for anything.
4 men were arrested for her murder, including an 18-year-old, all in Southern California. Police say that none of them lived in Bakersfield. Months later, the county is now facing a $500,000 claim after they allegedly failed to notify Hampton's family of her death, and then giving her body to a non-family member to be cremated. The claim filed on behalf of the law offices of Eugene Lorenz says her biological father, mother, and sister were never told she was dead. Hampton reportedly had a falling out with her father over money. He says he found out about her death from reading the newspaper on June 22nd, almost 3 months after her death. When this case was looked into further by a private investigator from the law firm, he discovered that Teresa Klein was the one listed on the death certificate as the sister, and it said all of Hampton's family was dead. When the PI spoke with Teresa on July 7th, he asked about her and the Hamptons' relationship. She said, quote, "We were like sisters." He then asked for clarification on if they were biologically related. She responded saying no, and Victoria Ann Marie Hampton had no relatives after her husband Chuck passed away. The family's lawyer claimed the release of Hampton's body goes against the coroner's office policy, which states, quote, "Other coroner duties include notifying the next of kin, safeguarding the decedent's personal property, collecting evidence related to the cause and manner of death, and completion of mandatory records and documents," end quote. According to attorney Ron Zambrano with West Coast Trial Lawyers, the situation is very unusual.
There are practices that exist and are in place in order to prevent giving rights to someone that should not have rights over the deceased.
The filing comes as the grand jury released an updated report highlighting several recommendations that the coroner's office had made progress on implementing, but some things still need to be addressed. The findings showed, quote, "The staffing turnover of deputy coroners has been significant due to dealing with decedent remains, cramped working conditions, and consistent overtime, all of which lead to staff burnout. Support resources are inadequate to meet these issues," end quote. It also stated that they should get more training for, quote, "learning the necessary skills and techniques for competent job performance."
We don't know enough at this point how everything happened, but I'm assuming a little more could have been done and should have been done, and that they're entitled to compensation.
And it's worth noting this is only a claim against the county, which is a precursor to a lawsuit. Meanwhile, in the murder investigation, the prosecution has filed a motion to consolidate their cases. A ruling in that case is expected sometime next month.